Hello everyone, welcome back to Velocity Verdict. Today we are going to be reviewing this 2025 Civic Si. Let's get into it. Today we are going to start off by the engine because I feel the Civic Si is a beast. Yeah. Powering this is a 1.5 liter four cylinder that produces 200 horsepower and 192 pound-feet of torque that goes to a 6-speed manual transmission, and fuel economy is 27 miles per gallon in the city and 37 on the highway. So the main selling point for this car is the 6-speed manual transmission. Now, when you come onto the hood, we can see it's kind of raised there on either side with the sharp lines. Down below, we have the Honda logo with the blacked out grille and these LED headlamps with the fancy turn signal indicators or cool turn signal indicators. Bottom bumper. This bright red paint looks pretty cool on the new SI. Now on the side, we have these flush fender flares with some body work on the side and fender flares on the back. Tire profile on this is 235 by 40 R18. So we have 18-inch alloy wheels over on the front and at the back. And with the wheels, we have this fully blacked out trim with the blacked out mirror caps, but body colored door handles and blacked out trim around the windows. But taking a couple steps back, that's the entire side profile, and it has a good contrast with the blacked out wheels and blacked out mirror caps. And we do have blind spot monitoring with the mirrors, so that's a plus. And when we come onto the back, it's kind of like more of a basic Civic Si look with like a basic Civic look. The difference I'll tell you, but we have the Honda logo up here, the Civic badging, the Si badging in red, and man, I love this black spoiler on top that provides a good contrast with the red color at the rear. The regular Civic looks kind of similar, just it doesn't have a big black spoiler on the back. But down below with the bottom bumper is slightly different from the regular Civic, and we do have dual exhaust tips on either side, and we have these LED tail lights with the turn signal indicators, and yeah, overall a cool looking car. Before we move forward with this review, I just want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post unique content for you and I'll bring more unique content for you guys. And yeah, I had some difficulty finding this Civic Si because it's not readily available in the dealership near me, and yeah, I had like some difficulties finding the Si. So it would motivate me if you guys subscribe. Guys, let me know down in the comments what do you think about the looks of this Civic Si and what do you think about this bright red paint on it. In my opinion, it looks quite sharp and has a good contrast with the blacked out elements overall in the car. And I've also reviewed like the Civic Sedan normal. That's not the Si, just like the regular Civic Sport. So I'll include the link at the end screen and in the description down below, so you can check out that review and you'll come to know like the differences. Now coming inside the back door, we do have more like baseline trim over here, but cool trim on the door are chrome door handles, soft cloth trim, soft touch down here, nice trim, power window controls and cup holders. And with these seats at the back, we have these cloth seats that are black in color, nice trim, sporty red stitching throughout. Popping inside, the rear seats are quite comfortable, and for reference, I'm 5'7", 5'8", so I have a lot of knee room. And for the headroom, yeah, sufficient enough. Thumbs up to Honda for giving such a good amount of headroom in the back. Over here, unfortunately, we don't have any AC vents. It's kind of plain over here, but we do have a storage pocket over here for the other seat. And the good thing is we do have the armrest down here. Just this flaps down, nice trim. Armrest, two cup holders, and man, these seats with the red stitching look kind of sporty enough for a Civic. I mean, it is the Civic Si, and from the engine you heard it has 200 horsepower instead of the regular like 150ish horsepower that a Civic has. So the engine is tuned in a different way that it has like 200 horsepower. And now let's move up front. So the back seat, nothing too crazy in the back seat, but in the front is where all the changes are compared to the regular Civic. So yeah, I do feel this is like slightly more lower to the ground compared to like a regular Civic Sport. But moving on, hard plastic over here, but love this gloss black trim over here, chrome door handles. Man, now look at this. This red checkered pattern, soft touch is different on the SI, doesn't come on the regular Civic. Soft touch down here, sporty red stitching, and love this red accenting, nice trim. Our power window controls, front two being automatic. Our lock and unlock function, child lock, adjustment for our mirrors, button to open the trunk, cup holders. And moving on to the seats, we have these cloth bucket sport bucket seats with red coloration and the black dual tone with red stitching, as I mentioned on our seats. Now these seats are different compared to the regular Civic. So these seats are different compared to the regular Civic, and slight changes in the door panel. And then we do have manual adjustment for our seats. I think Honda should have given like power adjustable seats, but yeah. And then the payload on this is 850 pounds coming inside. Since these are like the sport bucket seats, it's lower to the ground compared to the other Civic I reviewed, I would say, and pretty decent. Love the cool animation for the SI. And moving on, these AC vents look similar to the regular Civic, but it has this red accenting on its border. The gloss black finish is same materials, like basic materials on the dash. Love this red accenting throughout, and love this continuous AC vent that goes all the way through. And our traction off button is down there because this is a fun to drive car for the Civic Si having 200 horsepower. So our traction off button is down there. Our brightness controller is down there. And for this, and now let's start this bad boy up. Our engine start stop button is over here. Love how it lights up, and that's how it lights up. We do have physical stocks for our headlamps and indicators, and we have physical stocks for our wipers. Love the red light on the engine button. And for the steering wheel, we have nice trim all around the steering wheel, soft touch, sporty red stitching, nice trim down here. And we have a bunch of practical controls like our voice command, volume control, and we have a bunch of more practical controls like our highway steering and adaptive cruise control. Honda logo up center. And now this feels like a premium steering wheel with this gloss black segment and a nice steering wheel. Though I would say like if they had it paddle shifters, it would be more fun. And then we have the three pedal layout. Since you heard that right, it's a six-speed manual transmission. Here's our six-speed manual transmission, and a lot of you car guys like the six-speed manual transmission. And showed you the AC vent, and then we do have heated seats on this SI. So yeah, for the winter, but it's not all-wheel drive. So yeah, but for the cold it helps with the heated seats. And then we have still physical buttons for our climate control down here, and we have a bunch of USB ports. We have two USB ports down there, 12-volt socket, storage space. Then our electronic parking brake is over here. Here's our brake hold function, automatic start stop, and we have this drive mode select. Well, we have three drive modes: normal, sport, individual. In sport, it just turns red. Otherwise, nothing too fancy for the animation with the. Oh wow, drive mode select. This is a new feature. I didn't see this on the regular Civic that I reviewed. So love the cool little animation on it. And then we do have a bigger 9-inch infotainment system with the Civic Si, and yeah, feels quite premium inside. Shifted for a 6-speed manual transmission, and we do have like two cup holders in here, and nice trim on the armrest, sporty red stitching, cloth trim, and man, that's one deep storage center console. We have nice space in our center console. And moving on further, love this cool gloss black finish out all throughout my dash. And moving below, we do have our glove box. And yeah, for a front to drive car, I would say it has a decent size storage space, but not one of the best in its segment. 9-inch infotainment system. We do have some physical buttons like the home button, and our volume knob is physical, but I would say, yeah, the touch response is good and fast touch response rate, and it has Google Maps built in. So yeah, we do have some physical buttons and a good infotainment system. Good job Honda for giving the 9-inch and a fast working infotainment system in the SI. And we do have a fully digital gauge cluster in the Civic Si with our RPM meter over here and our speedometer. We can see the speed digitally, adaptive cruise control, and this is a brand new car with only 21 miles. So that's a plus. Yeah, quite fancy in my opinion. And then uh, we do have a manual mirror dimmer with this thing, so kind of basic. A manual mirror dimmer with this. We do have this sunscreen shade, a window, and a light, so kind of basic. And we do our cabin light controls are up here, and we have a SOS button. We have the button to open our sunroof over here. Show you guys the sunroof. So this is the cover, and then this is our sunroof. Yeah, or more like a moonroof, I would say. And now let me show you guys the quality for the backup camera. Wow, love the cool animation with like I have the foot on my brake, so it lights up the brake and the indicator where I give it. And now let me show you guys the quality for the backup camera. We do have a 6-speed manual, so hit the clutch, put this bad boy into reverse. This is the quality for backup camera. I would say, yeah, thumbs up to Honda for giving such a clear backup camera, and I'm impressed with the quality. It has a good resolution. And we can choose between 3 different modes for it. And then the trajectory lines do turn with the steering wheel, so that's always a positive. Thumbs up to Honda. Yeah, it's quite clear overall. Now, let me show you guys its key. You guys might be wondering, how does the key look? This one is more basic. So we have the Honda logo up here, gloss black segment, kind of similar like all the other keys you have. And then we have our lock and unlock function, opening for the trunk, panic button. So yeah, a normal Honda key, just with the exception for the remote start. This doesn't have remote start built into the key, but other than that, kind of like the same Honda key you get with every other car. And now let me show you its trunk space. You guys might be wondering, how big is the trunk? Since it's a front to drive car, you guys might be worried that the trunk might be small. Let's see that. And we do have Bose speakers on this as well. Before we move on to the trunk, this is the moonroof we have on this, and from the inside this is how the moonroof looks, and from the outside. So overall, I would say with a sloping roof line, a shark fin antenna on top, and man, this matte black spoiler at the back just wins over. And these dual exhaust tips on a Civic Si just like changes the look slightly at the back. And then the trunk, you just hold. I'm just going to open it from the key. You can open it from the door as well, but it's kind of manual to pop it open. It would just like unlock the trunk. And then we do have these latch to throw down the seats for extra storage. But even with the seats up, wow, this is it's both fun to drive and practical. That's a practical amount of trunk space. Thumbs up to Honda for giving such a good trunk space with the Civic Si. And you can still go on road trips with this thing, and you can fit a lot of cargo Back here, once you're all done, it's just manual for the closing, and then we do have a brake light at the back. And now let's look at its window sticker. You guys might be wondering, how much does the Civic Si cost? Now look at the fuel economy once again. Yeah, I would say, like, since it has like slightly more horsepower, you're gonna have like slightly less fuel economy. I would say like about 5 miles, about like 4 to 5 miles per gallon less compared to the regular Civic. But hey, it's a fun to drive car, and I don't know why, but if I was given a choice between the regular Civic and the Civic Si, I don't know why, but I feel like picking the Civic Si over the regular Civic because I don't know, man. It just looks like sportier with the spoiler, and I'm actually loving it. But the only problem is it snows over here, so that's one concern. But if I was living in an area where it didn't snow, this would be my go-to in the Civic category. And the base MSRP is $29,950, and it's like as clear as it can be that it's 29,950 with no packages built in, and with the destination and handling fee the total MSRP comes out to $31,045. So yes, you can see where the final assembly point is, because okay, sorry, I just got detract for a second, but the total MSRP on this car is $31,045. Yes, you heard that right. This car only costs $31,000, and I would say this might be one of the cheapest front to drive cars available with a 6-speed manual transmission, because and it's practical. It's a sedan. I've reviewed like few front to drive cars. You can check out on my channel, but mostly they used to cost what, like $40,000, $50,000 in that range. It's like 40 to 50, mostly above 50. But hey, this only costs like $31,000. So thumbs up to Honda for keeping the price so low on the Civic Si, and I would say it's worth it and a bang for your buck in every scenario. And just look at this interior with the red outside is cool, but the red inside, red inserts, these SI sport bucket seats, and the 6-speed manual transmission. What else do you need in a car? And a pretty good size infotainment system. So all the basic things you need in a car, and it's both great, practical, fuel efficient, and fun to drive. All three things mixed in one. So that's it for the video, guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and share it with as many people as possible so I can get more videos for you guys in the future. And thank you so much for watching.